Kurdistan is a semi-autonomous region located north of Iraq. With a population of 5.5 million, the region was undergoing a strong phase of economic boom until 2014, when the Islamic State occupied a large part of central Iraq. Its economy was mainly driven by oil and the construction sector. Iraqi Kurdistan shares its border with Turkey, Syria and Iran, and due to its safe environment was the main trade transit point for all those goods coming and going to southern Iraq. But when the Islamic State occupied a large belt of territory south to Iraqi Kurdistan, fragmenting the main trade routes, international partners were forced to find alternative, longer and more expensive routes through Iran and Saudi Arabia. Trucks crossing the border between Kurdistan and Turkey, the main Iraqi trade partner, reduced from 3,000 to 600 a day from 2013 to 2014. This had a major negative impact on the region. Two-thirds of Turkish investment in Iraq, approximately $320 million in 2014, were passing through Kurdistan. The Islamic State expansion spread fear among international investors, who started perceiving the whole Iraq as a dangerous area where to carry on long-term projects. An increasing number of civilians started fleeing their homes to survive the Islamic State's violence and reach Kurdistan. It is estimated that the regional government had to spend approximately $1 billion to satisfy their basic needs, such as food, shelter and healthcare. Numbers became soon overwhelming. Due to the wave of refugees, the population of Kurdistan increased by 30%. Then, when terrorists seized major oil plants, energy became increasingly expensive and the last investors abandoned the region. The hundreds of unfinished buildings around the Kurdish capital of Erbil are one of the tangible consequences of the crisis brought in by the Islamic State. Most of the big housing projects were state-funded, but they were frozen due to the lack of liquidity. I am currently on the outskirts of Erbil, the capital city of Iraqi Kurdistan, an autonomous region which is located in the northern part of Iraq. This region, up to 2014, thanks to the oil and the good economy, was undergoing a very powerful phase of economic development. Unfortunately, when the Islamic State came and reached very close to the borders of the city, the Peshmerga, the army of the Iraqi Kurdistan, had to fight back. And this caused a lot of expenses that the government had to face in order to resist the advance of the Islamic State. Behind me we can see one of the many effects, one of the many signs of this economic phase, this negative economic phase that the region is currently undergoing. There are at least 10 to 12 big buildings and probably more than 20 floors which were meant to become a residential complex. And due to the absence of cash and due to the necessity to pay the expenses for war, for the Peshmerga salaries and for the weapons, these works are very slow and there is no one working here right now, and it's a full day and it's meant to be a working time right now. Daniele Pagani from Erbil for VION.